Dolphins fans, we're getting closer to 24,000 subscribers. We need a couple hundred more. If you haven't already, hit that big red sub button and help us get to 24,000. Welcome into Dolphins Today. I'm your host, Will Scott. And Dolphins fans, I've been telling you, we're going to start ramping up our draft coverage here on Chat Sports. The NFL draft fast approaching, almost 2 weeks away. And this morning, ESPN put out a mock draft which included the Dolphins' 4 selections in the 2022 NFL draft. It was a 7-round mock draft. Obviously, the Dolphins only have 4 picks in the NFL draft after trading their first and second round picks for Tyreek Hill and trading their 5th round pick involving the Patriots in that Devontae Parker trade. So let's fast forward to round 3, where the Dolphins have their first overall selection at pick 102. Here are some notable players taken. Troy Anderson off the board. I was disappointed about that because Troy Anderson is an unbelievable talent out of Montana State. Played quarterback, running back, and linebacker there. We discussed this yesterday too, but Leo Chenal, not a surprise he's off the board. He's one of the best linebackers in this class. I would be shocked if he fell to pick 102. And then Marquise Hayes, we discussed him yesterday, as well as Nicholas Petit-Frere. I'm higher on Hayes than I am Petit-Frere, but obviously not a shock that both of those guys are off the board. However, here's some notable players that are available at pick 102 for Miami, according to ESPN's mock draft. Luke Fortner, he's right there for the taking, Chris Greer. You need a center. He's available. James Cook, a Miami native, star running back out of Georgia. He was there as well. Cole Strange, another center prospect, one of the best centers in this year's draft class, also available. So what's the pick? James Cook, the selection for Miami at 102, according to ESPN's mock draft. He's a Miami guy, went to Central High School and Northwestern High School, had a fantastic season for Georgia last year, a breakout year for the Dogs, leading the team in all-purpose yards. He was really a threat to both run the football, and he's a great pass catcher as well. Had nearly 300 receiving yards, 11 total touchdowns. He was a big part of that Georgia National Championship team. But I would be a little surprised if the Dolphins draft a running back in the 3rd round because they don't need a running back. Obviously, coming into free agency, it was a big team need for Miami. Myles Gaskin was your RB1. Well, you have Chase Edmonds, you have Raheem Mostert. You don't need a running back, but Cook may be too good to pass up. I'm not saying he's going to be like his older brother Dalvin and be that good of a running back at the next level, but he is a very good talent, and if he's at 102, he might be the best player on the board. So let me ask you, would you be happy with the Dolphins drafting James Cook? It's the pinned comment on today's video. You're going to get hit with an ad break here in a few seconds. Take advantage, go down, and let me know what you think. I'm going to type my wife for yes because James Cook is one of the best running backs in this draft. So they also have a 4th round selection in this year's draft. So as you see, ESPN's mock has them starting out with the James Cook selection. You still don't have a center, though, in this year's draft class. Luke Fortner has been taken, which bothers me. I want Luke Fortner in round 3. If he's there, I'm taking him. Cole Strange also taken. So centers off the board since your 3rd round selection. Kobe Bryant as well might be one of the best players on the board at pick 102. He falls to 113 to Washington. And then Zion McCollum taken right before the Dolphins might have a chance to add some depth to their DB room. Some notable players that are still available. Damone Clark, really good linebacker prospect out of LSU, but he just had surgery. He's going to miss the entire 2022 season. Alec Lindstrom still on the board, as well as Dohnovan West, 2 centers. So are the Dolphins going to take a center? According to ESPN, yes. Dohnovan West, the selection in the 4th round, a 3-year starter at Arizona State. Played guard in 2019 and 2020 before moving to center in 2021. He was very good at that position as well. 2nd team All Pac-12 in 2021. So Dohnovan West, the pick over Alec Lindstrom at center. The Dolphins right now only one center on the roster, and it's Michael Dieter, who, as we've discussed, maybe might not be the best long-term option for Miami, the 2019 third-round pick. So, look, I would be surprised if the Dolphins don't draft a center, and I think they need to do it in round 3 or round 4. I don't think you can wait until round 7. There's going to be plenty of talent available there for you in round 3 or round 4 that may be able to come in and play right away. So let me ask you, who would you rather have at center, Dohnovan West or Alex Lindstrom? Lindstrom, a guy we've talked a lot about, was coached at Boston College by new Dolphins offensive line coach Matt Applebaum. I'm going to type my AL for Lindstrom because I think that he's the better overall prospect at the center position. So those are the two picks to start out. James Cook, and Dohnovan West. So they address a team need at the center position in round 4. Maybe James Cook and Dohnovan West are going to be putting on this cool Miami Dolphins draft cap, which you can get at chatsports.com/Dolphins draft. That's my favorite one right there. I keep seeing it. I need to buy it. And then there's this cool flat bill one as well. So again, it's chatsports.com/Dolphins draft. And I got to shout out Pokey Grinja 39 on YouTube for getting a Tyreek Hill jersey. So if you go and get a Dolphins draft cap, let me know down in the comments section. I'll give you a shout out here on the next show. So back to the mock draft here. They don't have a 5th round pick. They don't have a 6th round pick. So let's go all the way to round 7, where some notable names that we've talked about here on Dolphins Today have been taken. Emeke Emezi, one of the best wide receiver prospects that might be on the board in round 7, but he's off the board before Miami's selection. Bo Melton, another big name off the board. If you want to go offensive line, Chris Paul has been taken. He's not going to be available. And then DeMarco Jackson, a very underrated linebacker prospect out of Appalachian State, also on the board. Here's who's on the board. Chris Hinton, talked about him yesterday. He's expected to fall to round 7. Charleston Rambo, a lot of Dolphins fans going to be familiar with him because he played at the U. Colt Kelly, an intriguing quarterback prospect. Maybe draft him, have him compete for the to be the 3rd-string quarterback. Here's who they went with in round 7, according to ESPN. Another center? Like, you have 4 draft picks, and you're going to take 2 centers? I disagree with this pick for Miami in round 7. Now, if you don't take a center in round 3 or 4, then sure, take one in round 7. And James Empey, a guy that has a lot of experience at that position, a 4-year starter at BYU, but he's had some injury issues the last 2 seasons, missed 20 games, the 14th best center prospect according to The Athletic. Look, drafting 2 centers would be stupid. Now, if you have 7 or 8 draft picks and you just absolutely have to get a center pick right, then sure, take 2 centers. Whoever is the better one, have him play, or whoever's not better, maybe cut him. But drafting 2 centers when you have 4 draft picks in this year's draft, using half of your picks at the same position would not be the correct move for Miami. So here's who they have so far in this ESPN mock draft. James Cook, very good running back out of Georgia. Dohnovan West, a center, and then another center, James Empey, out of BYU. Let's fast forward to the Dolphins' 2nd pick now in round 7, where these names are off the board. Let me tell you, I know they just took James Cook in ESPN's mock. If Sincere McCormick is on the board in round 7 for Miami, I think you have to take him. Back-to-back 1,400-yard seasons for UTSA. I don't care that he's 5'9", a little bit undersized. He's an explosive running back that can make plays for you. Here's who they ended up taking in round 7, the 2nd pick for the Dolphins. Marquan McCall out of Kentucky. He had a pretty good season this past year. He lost a lot of weight, got down to 350 pounds, sub 350 pounds, first time since high school. He looked quicker, looked more efficient, looked more like an NFL nose tackle. And we've talked about defensive tackles still being a team need for Miami. The Dolphins right now just have Raekwon Davis and John Jenkins. They re-signed Jenkins the other day. You need a little more depth at that position. So I would not be against drafting a defensive tackle in round 7 to provide more depth there for Miami, someone to back up Raekwon Davis. So here are the 4 picks according to ESPN's mock draft. James Cook, I like it. Dohnovan West, I like it. It fills a need. James Empey, please do not draft 2 centers. Please. And then you fill another need drafting McCall with your second pick in the 7th round. So let me know what you think. Grade ESPN's mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down in the comments section. I'm going to give it a B-. James Cook, maybe the best player on the board at 102. I get that you have to take him, even though running back is still not a team need for Miami, or no longer is a team need. They fill a team need taking Dohnovan West in the 4th round, but drafting a center again in the 7th round is what brings this down to a B- for me. Let me know what you think of ESPN's mock draft and who you think the Dolphins should take. Let me know on Twitter at WillScott44. And want to give some shout-outs here. We played some trivia the other day. I asked who the Dolphins' all-time receiving yards leader was, and EXE Golden 1.0 was the first one to comment correctly. Mark Duper, the correct answer. And then we had a little word of the day action yesterday where Dave Whitling was the first one to get that right, the timestamp correctly down in the comments. Thank you again to everybody for their amazing support. You've made my first month here at Chat Sports a great one. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This has been Will Scott with Dolphins Today. Go Fins.